And now the most important month of the year, where people, kids, young kids are still going to grade R, going to crash. Matrics are going to start their process of grade 12. All grades are going to school, first day of school. And you wake up, boom, there's no electricity. Hey yo guys, my name is Usanele. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and there is a notification bell somewhere there. Please click that notification bell, and I appreciate you guys. Today we're discussing about the only government that has ever visited all public schools in South Africa on the opening day of schools in South Africa at the same time. Let me say that again. The only government in South Africa that has ever visited all public schools at the same time and made an announcement when they reached those schools. What do I mean by that, and why am I saying that? During the festive season, right, just a small story. During a festive season, one of the ministers came out and publicly said that South Africa won't have load shedding for that December period and some parts of I wouldn't say some parts of January, because we have been having load shedding since after this festive season thing. Now, question for you and question for myself: which government will ever tell the people of a public that I'm giving you guys, I'm suspending load shedding for the period of December, for the period of festive season where people spend most of their money? It's a fact. South Africans spend most of their money during the festive season. South Africans, they drink a lot of, not just South Africans, but people drink a lot of alcohol during that festive season. A lot of things happen, more especially in the entertainment industry. No disrespect to that. I appreciate the fact that people are going out there and enjoying themselves. No disrespect, right? But my question and worry is, it's the 17th of January, schools are opening, depending on which province you are watching this from. Maybe you are in Joburg, maybe you are in Eastern Cape, maybe you are in Cape Town, but here in KZN, schools were opening today. And the first thing that happens is, in the morning, when kids have to prepare to go to school, there is no electricity. We're having load shedding. But when people were busy enjoying their time during the festive season, you gave them electricity. And now the most important month of the year, where people, kids, young kids are still going to grade R, going to crash. Matrics are going to start their process of grade 12. All grades are going to school, first day of school. And you wake up, boom, there's no electricity. As much as we know there's no electricity, there's load shedding in South Africa, but come on, there has to be a proper schedule of doing this load shedding thing. No disrespect to the current government. You understand? And to the government that's coming up, because we know this thing of electricity can be fixed. It can be fixed tomorrow, or maybe let's say a month from now. It can be fixed. Everything that the government is selling us, whether negative or positive, it can be fixed. There is a budget for doing that. There are people who've studied. There are people who've studied all these things here so that the country can go forward. And the reason why I'm making this video here, obviously it might not reach top people, but I'm just saying that it's very, very scary when the young ones and the old ones who are going to school, going to work, you wake up, more especially those who are going to school now, you don't have electricity. You don't have electricity, but when it was festive, you were given electricity like no one's business. Remember last year in October, November, when the matrics, grade 12 guys were writing their exams, there was no electricity in the country. Now I'm talking for public schools, because obviously we cannot talk about privates, that's another level. Privates enjoy, guys. If you are watching this and you are going to a private school, tops, no disrespect. I appreciate that and I respect that. But for public schools, I think our government has to have a plan of how to schedule this thing here of a load shedding. When everyone is asleep, as much as we know that there are people who work at night, but at least from midnight till at least 5 in the morning, you can even you give us load shedding from 12 till 5 a.m. You can take your electricity, but 5 a.m. at least give us, not our electricity, but give us electricity back. You understand? And this is the very, very scary thing that will happen with this current government. Now, I'll say there were not much of complications except the Gupta story and whatever happened to Jacob Zuma. But this thing of illegal shading was not much with Jacob Zuma and Thabo Mbeki. You know, we have not had much of the electricity thing and load shedding. And what will happen, this clip here, please watch this clip here and come back to watch this video.
I would not mind if Ramaphosa and his friends, Ramaphosa and Pravin, with all due respect, just take your money, go to Stellenbosch, speak to Rupert and Oppenheimer, buy Eskom out, own it, but allow people to have services.
Because that's already what you guys want. So
that's what you want. Just get it done with. Get it done with.
But let's
you want the South African Airways? Just buy the thing and put the aeroplanes back on the road. Let people work.
You want Transnet? Sell it to Glencoe. It's fine, but just serve the people.
You will go to meet Malema in court and discuss why you did it and how you did it. That's a conversation for another day. But you cannot squeeze people.
Right now you're throttling the people and they can't breathe.
And this is how you make people revolt. This is how you lose everything that you have. This is how Shevchenko, the guy from Czechoslovakia, who was thrown on the streets and his property is destroyed. And this is exactly what happens. You gather all these things to yourself. Think carefully, Ramaphosa. The day you step out of office, you are going to be in court for the rest of your life to account for these injuries that you've caused along the way. For what it is worth, start looking after the common people. Appease the people. They don't want much. They just want much. They just want to switch on their electricity.
Africans don't want much.
They just want food on their table and allow them to become. But when you begin to tamper with these critical issues of,
you turn them into desperate animals.
And when that day comes, the poor people will eat the rich. I bet you Stellenbosch is not far. We'll eat up those grapes.
Oh, a lot of those guys have already started moving overseas, by the way. And moving their companies, Anglo-American.
And their monies. And who is going to remain? Ramaphosa will remain dealing with this mess post his presidential term.
He might leave, but people will bring him back. We can access people now.
Jacob Zuma, they brought him back from Russia, is it? They wanted him back here. And with the democracy that you have in South Africa, I am saying this ahead, and I want you to cut this clip and put it on standby for the next 1 year. You will come back and revisit this clip word for word. If Jacob Zuma took those few years in court, we're going to be seeing something very interesting on Ramaphosa. Because when we start with Ramaphosa, it's going to start way back where it's uncomfortable. We're going to start off with Rustenburg, which has been put on reps right now for managing the anger of the people. We're going to be dealing with all these issues of business deals. I mean, how do you? Pravin has got 52 companies. 52 companies. Shareholding in all of them. Pushing business tenders into those. I've never seen Pravin appearing in court.
These are businesses that compete with the state having to supply.
No, those businesses are the state. Those businesses are delivering what the state needs. He's an arm. He's in parliament. And who talks about it? He's untouchable. And not only that, he also has his hand fully in SARS to manage his taxation.
Because he used to be at SARS. He used to
so
run SARS.
We are going to be having a very interesting post-Ramaphosa conferencing of accounting for all these things. I am sorry, Ntate Gwede Mantashe, you are in the same basket because you are sitting on the mining space right now. I'm sorry for Begitele, because you're also managing the police issues and the crime stuff. I'm sorry for the prosecutors that are being elected. I feel sorry for Zondo himself. They are going to be put in one big bag. And the country of 52 million cannot be held ransom by a handful of people who are holding the country ransom. And I don't say this only for South Africa. I say this for Zimbabwe. I say this for Malawi. I say this for the new generation of Africans that you have are no longer the docile mine workers of 1960. Yes, bus. The yes, bus era has just passed by. They will need to deal, not with me, they will need to deal with young people. When you say Nelson Mandela, the young boy will ask you, who is Mandela? I don't know Mandela for nothing. And when you deal with young people like that who have no clue as to what are you talking about, the anger of the young people will spill into the countries become ungovernable because leaders become irresponsible. They don't become irresponsible only because they're irresponsible, but they are negligent to the basic needs of the community. A hungry stomach knows no politics. Right now, let's get hungry. Let's get hungry and tell me order.
Let's discuss communism and capitalism and socialism while you're hungry.
There's order, please. Order when there's food there. That's why you have stampedes, where people will run on top of each other to access what they want. And if you don't hear me now, maybe you'll hear me later.
What Ubaba Maponga is saying in that video is very, very true. You know, when money, people who are driven by money, they have a lot of influence and they can control the media, they can control whatever the people think. And when people love somebody, deep down they love him. It's a fact that Jacob Zuma, people love him. People of South Africa, they love him. It's a fact. Whereas Ubabusiri Ramaphosa, we are being sold something that, as much as I bought into it because I'm not into politics, but we are being sold. You know, they are pushing him to us as a public. Whereas Jacob Zuma, people are literally going to him, not him pushing himself to the people. So what will happen is, remember when people started looting, when Jacob Zuma was taken to prison for that couple of months or couple of weeks, people were looting in KZN, people were looting in Joburg. It was a disaster in the country. Now, just imagine if people can fight for the Ubaba Zuma Ranjalo, if they can fight for Ubaba Jacob Zuma, what will happen if all, because remember, every president has his own scandals, stories, secrets, you know. What if all the secrets of Cyril Ramaphosa can come out? Are people going to support him or going to attack him? You know, there's a precedent that people, they attacked his house. I think it was in Iran, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere. Please comment on the section below just to correct me. Which president? People went into the house and started lighting up the house and stealing things. You know, the same thing can happen into a government that is playing around with people. Rates are increasing. Taxes are increasing. Petrol is increasing. A lot. I mean, I can name a lot of things which have changed within this short period of time that this current government has been taking care of this country. I'm not here to push any agenda for any political party, remember that. I'm just here to share my thoughts and views. And after watching that video from Ubaba Maponga, what are your thoughts about the current government and this load shedding thing, man? I don't know how it will ever be fixed. You know? And having said that, guys, it's a touching thing. Because now it's something that we cannot control. But I mean, if anybody has any idea of how to fix load shedding in the country, comment on the section below. I love you guys. I respect you guys. Thanks for the support, man.